All right, and welcome back, guys, to another diorama stream because we haven't done that in a little while now. But yeah, it's gonna be back doing these because I haven't done one in a while, and I kind of have a few things kind of happened to kind of prompt this. We got my silver bolt in the mail the other day, and so I decided, well, now that I know that it will fit on this shelf, um, I think it's time to really do a diorama because I have all the paints ready. It's gonna be a very simple diorama, like very basic sort of one to make. So it's not. I already have all the paint, and I did a quick run to Michael's earlier today, so might as well just go live and just get this one going because it's been a little while. I missed doing the diorama stream, so. But today we're doing the Hollywood Hills actually because it's gonna be for my Aerialbots and. Not for any particular reason, for a story reason, because they never really went to Hollywood. It was like but there was an episode where they, not the Aerialbots, but like Hoist and all of them, they went to the Hollywood Hills, and so I thought, well, what if did something similar to that, kind of like a nod to that, even though Hoist is not going to be on this shelf. I thought having it'd be a good location for the Aerialbots because I think that doing a nature environment really kind of is a good option for them. And so, but yeah, so we're just going to do a very simple base color of brown. And on top of that, we're going to do a nice sort of just clean grass ground all across it. And then I'll do the same thing for these things. So it's going to be all brown here. And then on top of it, it's going to be the green, the grass and all that. And they're going to go in the corners right here. Kind of just kind of adds elevation to the diorama. And one thing I actually want to do is actually put some palm trees on these, but I won't be able to do that today in any of these streams because I just ordered them yesterday actually. So can't really do anything about that, but don't need to. I can just wait until those come around. Maybe I'll do a stream putting those together, but I don't think it'll take that long to do because it'll just be me gluing trees and rocks and all that together, so it wouldn't take very, very long to do, but it's just a little thing that I want to cut. It looks a little unfinished here. There. So I want it to be kind of a smoother sort of thing. It's not meant to be like kind of a canyon. It's kind of meant to be a bit more smoother rock surface there. Not rock surface, but you know what I mean. Just throw it to the ground. Clean that later. Vacuum. But and also on the stream, you'll notice in the comments the Etsy shop link is there. And I actually just posted it up to my Instagram as well because I don't use Instagram a lot, but I figured that might help get some viewage going on the site, which is getting pretty good traction now. Got like 60 views on it now. And 30 visits, so it's gotta count for something. So hopefully people buy some. I have a few people who wanted to buy some, but yeah. And I'm using the burnt umber for the brown because we're trying to go for like kind of a sunrise for the background of it. So I kind of want it to be a little bit darker here. Something that the darker sort of colors will help the Aerialbots stand out because the Aerialbots, they're bright colors of reds, yellows, whites, and so having darker colors kind of help ground them will kind of hopefully I have enough for this. If not, I'll have to do some hardcore mix. I have a few other bottles of this brown. I like to use it. But we'll stick to this for now. This should be enough. But yeah, start with the base, and then we'll paint these guys, and then I might do some work on the background because I might do the sky tonight, and then who knows? Knock some shit over. Hold on. There. Okay. Hey, Deadman. Good to see you. we're back at it again. Some more diorama stuff. So yeah, just felt like doing a lot. Just felt like going live today. You know, want to get some work done in these dioramas. You know, I do kind of wish I waited until I got my new phone, because then I can actually show you the final product of the dioramas. Because that would be a good thing for the streams, actually, for the diorama streams specifically. Is when I get my new phone, I'll actually be able to connect that to StreamYards, and then I can actually show you guys, like me, in real time, putting the shelf back in, or the diorama into the shelf, and then you can kind of see the final product at the end of the streams. Because the problem with the streams is that you don't get to see the final product at the end of it. You just kind of see the work, that goes into it more so, So unless you're like following my YouTube or you watch the diorama stream or the collection videos, you don't really get to see the final product as much. So I think when I get the new phone, that'll kind of change things. I can get in and do a really quick, like, sort of a showcase at the very end of the streams. But I'll work on it anyway. It's a good do a stream. So might as well. Yeah. So, and today we're doing the Hollywood Hills. So, as obviously from the title, because there was an episode in the original cartoon where the Autobot went to Hollywood, and they tried to make movies or something like that. It was a goofy episode. Now, in that episode, it was mostly a Hoist-centered episode, and the problem with this shelf is that Hoist will not be on the shelf. He's on the shelf with the season 2 bots. But I wanted to have a nature sort of environment for the Aerialbots, who are going to be the main sort of people on the shelf here, and maybe a few others. But the Aerialbots are really big, beefy bots, so I can't really have a whole lot of room for other characters on the shelf. So, and I can't really do a whole lot of extra detail in the main sort of standing grounds, for lack of better terms, like where the figures are actually going to stand, because they're so big and all that, and they can't really have a whole lot of like elevation either. So a lot of things like that you kind of keep into consideration when you're doing a diorama, especially for like a bookshelf diorama. Like you probably get away with a lot more if you're just doing like a tabletop diorama, but for one that's supposed to be fitting in a specific space on a shelf, then you have to kind of like consider a lot of different things, and so there's a lot of math actually that goes into it, because you have to actually measure out the figures and the help and the foam and all that. Make sure you cut it right, otherwise it don't fit in the shelf properly. Hey, Exorcio. Good to see you. I'm David C. Good to see you, man. Can't stay. Just quick. Well, comes out well. Thank you, dude. Yeah, thanks, Zero. Yeah, it's going to be for the Aerialbots, so it's been because I just got the silver bulb in on Sunday, so I was like, now that I know he's actually going to just fit on this shelf, I can actually go ahead and do this diorama. And I'm feeling pretty confident to do the other dioramas, like the Constructicon line and the Combaticon one, because now I know that Onslaught's probably going to be able to fit on the Combaticon shelf I laid out for him. So, because he's a little bit shorter, which is actually kind of good for me, because I was worried that the cannons on his back were going to, make him a bit too tall for the shelf, But looks like he will be able to fit perfectly fine, so that's good to know. And I had that one on the way as well. I just ordered him, and he just got sent out, so should be in a couple of weeks or so. Show Z, so. But yeah, so the next one after this will probably be the Constructicons. That diorama will probably be next, because I pretty much got that one laid out for the most part. It's going to be a very simple sort of canyon. It's going to be like, I think what's going to be is it's going to be the canyon in one of the earlier episodes. I can't remember which one it was, but it was the one where they were first like testing out the space bridge and all that. They're in this like little canyon that where Bumblebee and Spike were, where they were like spying on the Decepticons and all that. And so it's gonna be kind of so like in the diorama, it's gonna have like the space bridge in the background of it, with all this like kind of canyon rock sort of surrounding them. That's kind of the idea for the Constructicons when I get around to that. So yeah, I got a lot of plans because I have a lot of shelves to do. Because over there's my collection right there. Oop, oop, oop. So we got a lot of stuff to do. So like the Aerialbots, they go right below where Blaster is. Oop, okay, you can't even see that. Right below where Blaster shelf is, Season 2, the Tokyo shelf. Like this is where the Aerialbot's going to go, and obviously my Protectobots going right there. So, and we got a lot of different shelves to kind of work on. So, because and to double up on my Combaticons for Magic Square, yeah, they're really like shaping up. I'm really impressed with the way that Onslaught's looking. Really love their ball and their swindle, so really looking forward to seeing the other two. I don't know if I'll double up on Magic Square, just because I still have this Zeta Toys who's kind of broken. Like he's kind of a, you can kind of see him still standing there pretty strong, but he does have like a little bit of breakage in his leg. I think his like thigh joint kind of cracked on me, or it's hard to explain what happened to him. It's kind of like a weird thing that happened. Oh, this thing's bending a bit. I can fix that later. Yeah, the way you can actually fix the bend and foam is just actually to paint the other side. We're not going to do that right now. We're probably going to do that. Might do it tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, we'll worry about it later. It's not a big deal right now. So just going to get that in there. Shouldn't be too much of a problem because once you have these sidewalls in, it kind of helps weigh the base layer down. But just fill in all the little spots that are not getting enough attention. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Blaze as well. I thought that it was coming out this month, at least in the Shozy store, but haven't been a whole lot of like movement on that. Yeah, let's just spin this guy around. Let's make sure I got the side here or the front. That way, it kind of sells the illusion of it being kind of a environment, you know. Probably use an extra bit of paint. No problem running low on paint here. At least of this color, specific color. I have 3 bottles. I'm still running out. It's annoying. That should be enough for the side here. But it doesn't really matter too much to me because this is going to be covered up in grass elements. So it doesn't really matter if it's perfect or not. And if I do add a different like shade of brown, or if I have to rather, you know, it won't be that big of a deal. It won't be noticeable, and it will kind of be more realistic because there would be different like variations in like color when it comes to like mud or dirt and whatnot underneath the grass. So. But yeah, in terms of figures I got in this week, I actually got the first aid actually from X Transbots as well. And he's kind of sitting there in the shelf right there in our mode with the other guys because you know, I'm only going to use them for combined form, at least for now. But in the way I kind of have the shelves like laid out, you kind of have the the fence on the bottom there, and then he'll be kind of squaring off against Bruticus there. So, because I like to have a little bit of like symmetry with like characters and like the rivalries and all that. So and like right above the fence sword, that's where like the shelf right here, that's where Omega Supreme is supposed to go, and then up there where the Titan's Tower Lego there, that's where Superion's going to go, and maybe Computron, because I did find out that you can actually fit two combiners on that shelf, so that might be the only spot for a Computron at the moment, anyways. But decide to rearrange the room, I might be able to make space for it, but or for him to have his own like little shelf, but that's in the future. And then the same thing will be on the other side with like Menasor and Abominus. Now, ideally, I would have had it be like Menasor and Bruticus on the top shelf, but because Bruticus is a little bit damaged, I can't really put him up on there because he kind of needs like a shelf behind him, like a wall behind him to kind of help him stand up because of the leg breakage that happened on him. So, which happened like a year ago almost. Really, what happened was I was going to move him, right, and he just kind of, I don't know, I was trying to pose him and give him a different little pose or whatever. And, yeah, I guess I twisted the leg a certain way and just kind of didn't really break. It just kind of disconnected the joint from itself, and it's just kind of in a weird spot right now. So just gonna smooth out this brown here. See if I can get the grass going tonight. I don't think I'm going to do another coating of this, but I'm probably not going to do a second coat. Just because I will be going with some green paint as well for the grass. Because we'll look into that when we get to that. But let's kind of move this off to the side, let it dry. And while it's drying, we can do some work on the rock. No, not the rocks. The extra levels here. Going. And yeah. And it's going to be kind of handled the same way. So it's going to be brown all over, and then we'll have the grass on top of it. So see if I have enough. Try to use this. Try to buy some brown paint. Oh, a little bit in here. At least get these ones. Oh, yeah, I have a lot. Okay, thought I was running out, but no. All right. I'm just gonna go over it. Yeah, I can't really do too much on these ones today. The most I can do is just do the grass because I want to do a lot more with these corner pits because I have some palm trees on the way, and they're going to kind of go in the corner of the diorama because it's supposed to be Hollywood. So I figured, because I could have easily gone with basically forest trees and stuff like that, but it's it's LA and there's going to be palm trees a lot in a lot of places. So I'm just like, let's do something a little bit different, because I already have a few like forests on my dioramas, so I want to kind of try and do something a little bit different, with the backgrounds. Don't have to do too much on the bottom; you don't see it much, but you want to get these like underbellies, so to speak. See the sides there. These little jagged bits sticking out. But I kind of like to keep those things in there because it kind of makes it more like realistic, like mud, you know. I'll just kind of stomp that in. Probably should have done the top first, but oh, well. Let's see. Apart from, yeah. Oh, I'm not doing a good job showing you guys. Hold up. Let me give us a better angle. There we go. There we go. Kind of like this one corner here. Just do a little bit of the side there, just in case it gets shown in some way. I got a couple palm trees on the way. I ordered like a pack of, well, they're kind of a variety size. Like the biggest ones they have were 15 centimeters. And I think the way they kind of do dioramas for Transformers, like, is something, because I think the way to do it is to have some sort of object or element in it that kind of gives you an idea of how big the character is, you know. And so when you think of a palm tree, you know, or the Lincoln Memorial, for example, that diorama I did like a couple of years ago, actually. Now, holy shit! Really, just yesterday I started doing these dioramas now. But yeah, when I did that, but it's like if you kind of think about the Lincoln Memorial and how big that thing is in real life, it kind of, when you put Megatron in the throne a bit, you know, it kind of, you know, puts it in your head like, holy shit, this guy's that big. You know, that's kind of like the illusion that you kind of want to achieve with like Transformers, because they're, you know, they're supposed to be larger than life. They're giants, so you know, you kind of want to sell that a bit more when you're make a diorama for them. That's something that Bobby Skullface has kind of talked about in his dioramas, which I got a lot of inspiration from. Some are actually, a few dioramas are actually very much inspired by his. Like the 86 movie bot shelf is definitely very inspired by his version of his shelf, but with my own little flares to it, because obviously I don't want to copy 100%. You know, you want to add your own sort of statement to, I guess, for lack of a better term. I should have gotten like a toothpick on it. Hold on. That way I can do the underside without smearing paint. Here, let's grab the corner. There we go. Yeah, a little bit extra something to hold on to. I've actually gotten a few comments, like people mistaking my collection with Bobby Skullface's, which, to be honest, I kind of take that as a compliment, because he has a really, he makes really good dioramas. So, and a lot of my ideas kind of came from him, or some of the techniques, rather. So, I consider it a compliment to be compared to by other great artists, you know. But that should be it for now. Let it dry. Yeah, if I need to go back in and add some things, we can. Flip over, asshole. There you go. All right. Do that. And we'll check how the base layer is. Looks like it's almost dry. Yeah. I might just give it a minute though. Just a minute to fully like cure. Oh, that's going. We can actually work on some of these rocks here because I have some of these like little rock formations that I kind of cut up. So we'll kind of work on those for the time being. We'll just do one of these, and then we'll kind of check back in, see how the base is doing, and then we'll go from there. Let's grab graphite, gray, and then a brush. Maybe use like ones smaller brushes. Let's see. My scissors. Nowhere to be found. So here's my knife. Alright. I have a bad habit of getting cut on these things. Like this kind of plastic, so fingers crossed doesn't happen again. I got a bit of a variety of brush sizes, but we don't need too big. Good enough. I put them all on little toothpicks earlier, just because it'll make it easier to kind of work on. Actually, I'll move some of these to the other platforms. I have two of these platforms of rocks, just because I don't know. Just wanted to have some extra, like, you know, life to the shelf here. Now, I'm not going to glue these in just yet. Just because I want to have, like with rocks like this, I'm going to try and I'm going to start by, because I used to like glue them into place right, but nowadays I'm kind of in the pocket of, you know, kind of leaving them be, because, you know, you never know if you want to change things up in diorama. If you don't, and also you have to kind of keep in mind how much space you have available with, you know, for stuff like Aerialbots, they're very big bots, so you want to kind of, you know, plan around them, not so much around the diorama, you know. So now I have a bunch of different like size rocks, so I can have some variety, different options to kind of work with when I get the whole team sort of configured. Because I only have Slingshot and Silver Bullet at the moment, just because I kind of got into Masterpiece like late in the game. So most of my collection has just been me like just like catching up. So. But I finally got all the Stunticons last year, so this year I'm hoping to get the Aerialbots all done. And it's great because they're actually reissuing all their Aerialbots, because they just reissued their Silver Bolt, and they're coming out with their Skydive and Air Raid. So I'm hoping to grab those guys at some point, but kind of hard to balance doing catch-up work while also kind of trying to keep up with the new stuff coming out. But yeah. That should be good enough for now. Shit. Oh, shit. Right through them. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Let's grab a plate. Just put them on there. For the time being. Let that dry. you really only need to do this anyways for the toothpick for the first layer. Yeah, I want to get all the sides that are going to be shown, or that could be shown on the shelf. But I'm leaving the bottoms here pink. That way I know which is the bottom, obviously. It's very easy to kind of get mistaken in doing this sort of thing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of requests actually for more sticker characters. Like Dreaming Tabitha actually suggested doing some Beast Wars stuff because her favorite character was Rat Trap. So yeah, that could be definitely a thing we do. Obviously, I'm still working on the Predacons right now, so that's gonna be the next thing we do. But yeah, it'd be cool to kind of experiment and do other characters as stickers and all that. Like do some classic season 1 Autobots and Decepticons, then maybe some Beast Wars. Maybe eventually, venture into different shows and all that. Like Prime animated, because the chibi stuff isn't really hard to make for me, honestly. It's very, very fast to get them done. I think that should be the bottom, actually. This rock. Let's make sure to make that hole here not visible. It's placed in somewhere. Just put it off to the corner or something. But, now I could have gone and done like a vector sigma for the shelf, like the whole like vector sigma chamber and all that. That would make a lot of sense for these characters because that's where they're born, obviously, in the show. But I felt like they needed a little bit more of a. I think they look better in like a nature setting. Something about a nature setting that kind of works those characters to me. Because the whole story with the Aerialbots, they were all about kind of grounding themselves and learning to be a bit more humble, like in that whole arc they had. And so I kind of wanted to be a bit more of a down to earth sort of environment, like because a lot of times like these dioramas they come characters into themselves. I kind of noticed that is that they. The environment is as much like it's like Gotham City, like in Batman, like it's its own character in itself. It kind of speaks to who the character is, or in this case, characters. This whole team, because their debut episode, they kind of started off as being kind of jackasses. They didn't really care about protecting humanity. They were all kind of high and mighty, and but it wasn't until later on where they developed the virtues of what it takes to be a hero and all that, and the value of protecting those weaker than you. Oop, it's falling apart. Just let that settle for a bit. So, yeah. Let's get you guys a little bit closer in on that. See what's right here. Let's turn. It's hard for me to see myself, so it's kind of like. Here, maybe if I do the settings, get a little, bring it down just a bit. Right? I always try to think about the characters when I do the dioramas as well. Because like for the Golden Lagoon episode, I made sure to have like characters that were actually in that episode. on that shelf. So like I remember Warpath, Sea Spray, Power Glide, and Perceptor being there with Beachcomber when they discovered the Electrum and the Golden Lagoon and all that. So that's why they're on that shelf with him there. I think Hoist is on that shelf too, so I just put Grapple there with him because otherwise the Tokyo shelf would get too busy for my liking. It's already getting really, really like stuffed in there. I probably should have gone with a little bit more elevation for that shelf, to be honest. Like, but I still think it looks pretty good, for the most part. But yeah, I'm still waiting on getting a Ram Horn, and eventually I need a Steeljaw. I mean, that's one character I need to get at some point this year. Get my Autobot cassette tapes. I really love the MMC ones because they're bigger and a bit more prominent on the shelf. Even though they're probably a lot bigger than they probably should be. But it's like they stand out a lot more. Like Ravage on my Megatron shelf has a lot more presence now that it's a lot bigger figure. And I think so I kind of prefer that. And hopefully MMC does get around to their Ram Horn at some point this year, or next, because I think there was renders of it, but they've never like focused on them. I think that their tapes aren't really doing as well anymore. But I think that I think they should just like finish out the line because they still need to do Ratbat as well to finish off the Decepticon ones, and obviously like the season 3 cassette tapes like Squawk Box and Beast Box or whatever the fuck their names were. I was never really a big fan of the season 3 cassette tapes, to be honest. They're just all kind of dumb or goofy looking, but it would still be cool to have those kinds of characters though, anyways. Because someone out there wants them, I'm sure. If I were to get those characters, I would probably put them on the Sound Blaster shelf, actually, because I have one shelf just for him, which is going to be a pretty cool shelf, actually, I think. Which will probably be probably be the third shelf I do. We'll see. Like, after the one I do after the Constructicons or what have you. But yeah, I think that's it for those rocks. So it's going away and take a look at the base layer, see how it's doing. And leave those to the corner there, the rocks in the bottom here. And I think it's drying pretty fast, actually. So here, I want to weigh it down just a little bit on the sides here. Let's see if I can find something heavy. Mug there. Yeah. Let's weigh it down a little bit. Okay. Now we'll do one side. We'll do this. Do one side, and then we'll do the other side afterwards. Oop. Yeah, this is going all the way out. Nope. Do this. Do 2 corners. And I think what we'll do is we'll do the front side, and then we'll kind of flip it around, do the back side when we do the grass here. So I got my paint. And I'll kind of show you guys a trick I kind of learned from Bobby Skullface, actually, when it comes to doing grass. I think we're going to do a dark green here for this one. And I need to make sure I grab the grass elements. Not there. I'll grab a plate for them just because the grass elements can get very, very messy if not careful. So I think we'll start from one corner and then kind of work our way down to the other corner. We'll kind of start off at one point. So I'm just gonna dump out all this stuff here because we're gonna cover the whole thing in grass. So, nope, my tape there is covering up the hole, so to speak. But we're just gonna dump it all out actually. Scissors. All right, scissors. Just trying to cut my hands off, fingers off while we're doing this. There. So cut it all out because we're probably going to end up using all of it today. Yeah, but I bought like 3 packs of this because I thought I'd run out, but apparently I didn't. I was a dummy and didn't check, but I don't think it's going to be enough to cover the whole thing because I still have to do the corners and stuff like that. So, in the garbage. But I just need paint. Let's grab this guy again. And let's get a whole plate for my green stuff. All right. And then just need a brush. Okay. I think we'll do a good size one, so to speak. I think that's not big enough. Okay. Just knocking everything over. Use this guy here. This guy's about to fall over, so move this guy down here. Just make sure the paint's not coming off. Not gonna be a big deal though. So we're gonna put a bunch of grass in there. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I should probably get. Let's see. I want to get something that catches some of the grass when it comes onto the table here. So, my might have. You know what? Before we do anything, I think we grab a garbage bag. Just kind of block that. Oh, I had something. It's a little bit of a mess down here, so. Okay. Done. There we go. All right. I don't want to end up with like a bunch of grass all over my floor. Time is it? 6:44, so not really planning to go for too long tonight, but let's see if we can get done. Some tape. Scrap off the corners. And then is there something I can weigh it down? Oh, yeah. Up again. Okay. Now I have a little something we can kind of pour the grass into as we go. All right. So now tape away. Bring this closer and then get started. So first thing we do is we grab the paint and check, make sure make sure the camera is showing everything. Oh, hold on, right a weird angle. Okay. It's gonna be a little bit hard to see because I'm a little bit further back. But what you do is you basically take some paint and then you drop the grass elements here into it, and that'll kind of help create the little effect there because it'll basically stick into the paint and dry with it. So to get a nice big thick line of green in this little quadrant here while it's all wet, and then just grab a whole bunch grass elements and just pat them into the paint. Just bring a whole bunch in. Now you can use like some sort of glue for this stuff, obviously, but the reason why I do this is because you might not get every little nook and cranny with the grass. So having a layer of paint underneath kind of helps, fill in the gaps a bit. Let's grab another bag of the grass elements. I'll probably need it. Let's dump it all out. As much of that green stuff as much as possible. Looks like we're doing weed. All right. This will be good enough. Now we'll grab our brush again. And this is where you can kind of have a bit thicker layer of paint on the brush, because it's really useful for making sure the grass elements kind of stick. So you want to kind of make sure it's done while it's wet, so to speak. You just dump it in. Very, very simple sort of effect. It's very, very effective. Brush here, just kind of help even out this distribution of the grass along the base here. Try and fill up as much of the paint on the bottom there as much as possible. Also want to thin out the edges here because that's where the sidewalls kind of go in. So try not to go too far right there. Okay, grab more paint. Right. Go to there. Move to the other side. Keep going. Hopefully it's all enough. Hopefully it should be enough for I'll try to use a little less. Still, and I still have 2 little packets to go through, so I should be okay, but never want to run out. And if there is any errors that do need to be, better taken care of, you can always add some glue afterwards. I got a new bottle of glue, so we won't need a whole lot for this diorama. Just need to glue in a few platforms and some rocks and all that, but not rocks, but just a few rocks might need to be put in. The trees, obviously, are coming, but I'm not gonna worry about tonight. Not gonna glue it in today. So I want the grass elements to kind of settle for the night before we go further. So paint over that. Don't worry. Need to worry too much about getting onto the grass here because we're going to cover it up anyways later on. So I got a little bit carried away. But it's also not that big of a deal if you have a little bit of mud sticking out because it's realistic. There is going to be mud and all that. There's going to be mud and dirt poking out of the ground. So, but our goal here is to kind of get as much grass as possible. Bag. So glad I went with 3. Because this would have been a lot more difficult with just one neat bag of this stuff. So probably gonna have to use. Might be able to get the rest of this done at least with one bag. Might be a little bit more. Just in the corner there. Knife. I need to look into getting some newer of this grass stuff or different place to buy them. We might just have like one like big sort of mountain grass to work from. Save me a lot of money. I have to buy more of these things. Let's grab paint real quick. But I'll give you guys a better angle where I'm working actually, just realized. But I do like the different like shade of green, the dark green on top beneath the light green. It makes them look more realistic here, which I kind of like. So see the dark green like paint kind of showing through there. All right, now I'll flip it over and do the other side. Try to bump it too much. Grab some more paint. Better show the camera a bit better. Oh, don't put that way. And then move the camera there. There we go. There we go. Uh, hoping this batch will be enough to kind of cover this whole length here. Once we have paint, that'd be good. But we'll see. I'm not too sure it'll cover it all. Just gotta be careful how much you use. But these corners actually don't need a whole lot, but I won't have it there anyways, just because they are going to get covered up anyways by the platforms. But it's good to kind of have them filled in. That way you don't run into issues later on. Time is it? 7:04. I guess we can go till 8:30ish. That's probably going to be my stopping point. I might try if I get the grass area for both of them done today. I might try to do the sky. That'll probably be it for the night. But we'll see. Get that chunk going. I kind of like the little pockets of like dark green kind of poking out, but we'll fill that in later. Let's get all the big sort of areas going first. You can come in with a brush to kind of smooth out the grass later on. Get rid of some of the excess grass that doesn't really make the cut. It's not all the grass will stick to it, so you can just get rid of those assholes. Yeah, very, very simple diorama today, actually. At least with a base layer. The background might be the more complicated part. Um, so I'm thinking about trying some light sourcing effects and stuff with that one, but that's why I kind of went away on that one a little bit, if I can. So I want to think it through a bit more before I commit. Make sure I know which colors to utilize. So, all right, I just need this one little corner left, and we can just kind of go through and touch it up. Then we can do the corner bits. Slow. Let's try something. I'm also considering getting some like glue, like spray for stuff like this. You'll look into that a bit more though. Might be useful for just touching it up. Yeah, there's the base. So just gonna go through the brush and just kind of thin it down a bit. Make sure it's not too much. There's a little bit of area that needs to be painted. I'll just fill that in, some of the excess stuff. It's too much. Oh. All right. Yeah, that needs some paint. So I'll get a smaller brush for that. So fill it in a bit better, more accurately. It's almost like mowing the lawn, actually. What we'll do is kind of move all the big chunks this way. And we'll dump it all into the plate, I think, at the end. That way, kind of save some of this for the corner pieces. Here, let's put this plate under my nether regions, so to speak. It's nasty. Depending on the point of view. Thin it down a bit, make sure it's not too lumpy. Okay, I need some paint. Very, very lightly. Just got those big lumps that don't need to be there. The last thing you want is for these things to kind of be stuck to your figures, Which isn't a big deal. They don't like stick, it's not like sticky. Nothing, but keep your stuff clean as much as possible. I'm gonna worry about that. There. Well, this brushing kind of helps to pinpoint the outliers. So just gonna tidy that up. But got a lot of excess stuff to work with now. Is this? Fast and into the just a bit. Get a whole bunch out of there. Should be enough. That way we know which areas we need to actually fill in. Okay, grab some more paint. We're just going to grab the areas that we missed or didn't really get a whole lot of love earlier. Start with this side. But I almost like the cracks actually. That looks like actual like cracks in the grass in real life. But I'm not gonna keep it consistent here. There's some excess here. I'll brush over. Try to use as much of the excess stuff here as possible. But let's use pinches though here. Cover the big areas. Mostly the front areas actually is where I want to make sure it's all covered up. Then just brush the grass along, so to speak. I'm not going to worry too much about the smaller bits now. Smaller browns are showing up. It's the big chunks. So I just like little pockets there. That's okay. Makes it more realistic, because you would have some brown stuff sticking out. Mud and dirt and all that jazz. think that's good enough. Leave that for now. Everything kind of settle. Trade spots here. These guys. Let me see that. Gently. Then we'll do the same thing here. So we'll add the green on top, and then we'll do some grass elements on top. There's gonna be a little brown pockets to cover up with the grass. Hopefully this is enough. Should have more of this green somewhere. All right, we'll try to get with this and we'll go from there. Let's do a little bit on there. Just got to kind of pinch it into the paint there. And there's a little platform there. Gonna have some palm trees, some little rocks and stuff hanging off of it. Once they arrive, obviously. Just gonna brush some of that didn't stick very well. I'm actually okay with some of the paint kind of sticking out because it kind of adds a little bit more depth to the grass here. So not too worried about that. Okay. Let's move on to the other side. Yeah, I should be able to pull this off with what we have. Yeah, it should be okay. Okay. So what if I just like, there we go. That's smart. Work smart, not harder. Boom. Never thought to do this. Yeah. Just dab it into the ground. I guess because it would make more mess if I did that way, but remember that next time. What's harder to do with the base layer? You know? But yeah, it's so big. Okay. Let's try to tidy up this grass stuff here. All right. Just let that all dry. Time is it? 7:30. Not too bad. If I can clean this up a bit, I can probably squeeze in the background. I can probably do the sky because I had that one pretty much figured out for myself anyways. So. Shit. Okay. Got a little bit of sand or grass here. I can kind of save for another thing. So I might just put that into a plastic bag later on. Yeah, this size. All right. New view as well. All right. So I actually just drew up the design for the background earlier. Sides here. Get rid of this stuff here. Or, you know what? I think I'm going to save the backgrounds for tomorrow. I'll just work on some rocks for the rest of the stream because I want to kind of think this through a bit more when I'm looking at it. And there'll be a lot less stuff in my way because I'm kind of hectic right now in the room. So I'll just kind of get rid of this bag now. Don't really need it anymore. So yeah, we're just gonna work on these last few rocks here. Maybe work on tightening it to the other set rather. And that'll probably be up to the stream. Covering my back. Let's put the camera back to a better position. There. Now I got my players locked up. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be the bottom. Yeah, I think tonight I'm gonna glue in actually the two side corners in, and these are gonna be these two big rocks are gonna be kind of the main corners. So I might have to cut. I think I might do this one right now. I just cut like a little bit off of the corner because I want to have the tree actually go right behind it. So I think that much more should be off there, and that should still fit nice and snug into the corner there. And I'll do the same thing with this guy here. Yeah. So kind of mark them off actually. So yeah, marker. Left. And then right. Make sure not to paint the bottom. Yeah, so we're gonna have like when this goes into the corner of the shelf, this should leave enough room for when I have a tree right behind it on the shelf because I want the tree to go right into the corner of the layer, the base layer of it. So that's my plan. Sticking to it. It's important to get the underside of the rocks though. Slopes. It won't be a big deal if I need to cut out a little bit more. Not enough when the trees come in, but get there when we get there. That's how we roll. Just might need a little bit more paint. Not too much because I'm almost done. Just have 2 more left here to breaking the cat. Yeah, I think we'll be good enough to call this a wrap for the night. For this, and then tomorrow we'll start the backgrounds. At least get the base coats in, the sky, or the mountains and all that. Yeah, maybe just. I probably won't be able to stream on Friday though. That's the thing. Because I'm working out of town. I'll probably be too tired to stream. I get back home. So. Just kind of leave that there. Not too sure if I'll be using all these rocks though. So, but I could use them for other dioramas. That's why I like to overshoot rather than undershoot, because that way you can at least use them for something else in the future. Put them away for a time. All right, let's try it. There. Yeah, I used to glue the rocks in, but I think now on I'm going to kind of keep them loose in dioramas, because I think it'll add a bit more flexibility. Comes like posing stuff, like I want a character like I kind of stepping on top of a rock, sassy, whatnot. I can do that. I can position it in whatever way the figure needs to be. So, yeah. Also got to keep in mind, the big bots going on the shelf, so account for that. Let that dry. Take some of these like ones that I've already done earlier. Go over them once more. Just kind of tighten it up. Clean up all the areas that weren't really focused on enough earlier. Good amount done today, actually. Short amount of time. Actually, it's only like been 2 hours almost, so making good time, I'd say. I knew this one was going to be a kind of a shorter one too, because it's going to be, like these the earth-based environments, they take the least amount of time because they're a lot easier for me to do nowadays, especially because of picked up a thing or two. So, I might just do the base coats for these, and I'll probably call it a wrap actually. That way I can have some down, because the thing is, like, a lot of the dioramas, it's a lot of it's like just waiting for paint to dry, and so I think I'll just kind of leave these for tomorrow. Like, 'cause they're not done yet. I still need to do some like weathering and all that, and might add a different shade of gray, just kind of emphasize it and all that, and then need to do some dry brushing for the highlights and all that stuff. So all that stuff on the part. Okay. I think I'm ready to color the wrap here, guys. So, yeah, here's my rocks. Oop, they're falling apart. Waiting for them to dry. Gonna work on them tomorrow. As we do the background layer, we'll do that. So let's kind of show off what we got done today. As I can. So I've had it. Had some issues in the past, so. Make sure I don't make a mess. Got the base layer done. And we got the corner bits. Still drying a little bit there, but yeah, it's going to be filled with trees on there, some rocks maybe. And so, and eventually the Aerialbots. Going to stand on these things, but for now I'm going to keep the Aerialbots on a different shelf. The on the top there, where the Technobots are actually going to go at some point. But yeah, that's what we got done today. So probably just going to throw this into the shelf tonight. Call it a wrap. Maybe glue these guys in actually. And then tomorrow we'll pick things up where we left off. We'll do the sky background. Then if we have time, we might be able to get started at least on the base coats for the mountains. And then we'll obviously continue the rocks. And yeah, that'll be it for the diorama, because it's, and then after that it's just on the, I think on the weekend, if I do stream on Saturday, a lot of it will just be a lot of like, you know, dry brushing and detailing and all that. So I kind of like doing this where it's like I just do all the boring like base coats, all the, you know, slower stuff during the week, and then on the weekend we can do more of the fun stuff, which is like, because the detailing stuff is always the most fun part to do for me personally, anyways. Like, it's, but also I do, but at the same time I do like kind of, I like doing the grass effects, but you know, when it comes to like doing like base coats for everything, like, you know, it can get kind of boring after a while. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. So I want to say thank you to Extra Zero, Dadman, David C, and anyone else who's lurking for stopping by and dropping a like or whatever. And be sure to check out my Etsy shop, because I have plenty of stock in the of the holograph stickers of the Dinobots. So I will be updating the shop as I go. I have a few things on the way. Actually, I have some coasters, one of the Grimlock, and then one of an old piece I did on this channel, actually, the Optimus Prime and Megatron Yin and Yang symbol. I made that into a coaster as well. So that's going to be really, really fun. And I posted a thing on Twitter about that. So if you guys get a chance to take a look at what I'm going to be putting out, that'll be what I'm doing. Might go back and touch up this area, but on that note, I think I'm ready to call it a wrap here, guys. So yeah. Let's see, end this off on a funny blurb, or not blurb, clip. I've been sending so many blurps to Yarn Witch lately on our streams, so I keep confusing them. So, but yeah, until next time, guys, take care.
You will not escape the mighty shockwave.
Hey, mighty shockwave, take this!
Shit! You bitches! Get back here!
Bye-bye! Loser! You suck!
Those bitches!